I had a friend inquire about my raised garden beds that are actual mobile or portable raised garden beds. The house that we were in before, we were renting, and I didn't want to let that stop me from having a raised bed garden. So what I did, this is actually the first one, and it's made out of pallet wood. What I did was make a 2x4 bed. And on the bottom, if you look closely, there's hardware cloth. The hardware cloth is affixed all the way around. Underneath, I have 2 braces underneath the dirt that I affixed the hardware cloth to with cable ties, or zip ties, whatever you want to call them. And that way it's holding the hardware cloth in and any of the dirt. So these are the next 2 that I built. These 2 I used 2 lengths, or 4 cedar fence pickets, the 6-foot cedar fence pickets. They're not quite 2x4, they're about 23 inches by 4, because I cut the dog ear off the top of the fence picket so that they would, go together flush. But what I did is I put these eye hooks right here, and I got about a 5-foot length of the by-the-foot chain that you can buy at Lowe's. And when we moved, I took the chain and I put it on the hooks to make a handle. So it took a little bit of prying, to get them up, because there were roots. I moved these garden beds with about 4-foot tomatoes, and it took some prying to get it up out of the ground, but we just carried them. We carried them off, dirt and all. We moved them in an enclosed trailer. I don't think you'd have to have, all those over there are also hardware cloth bottomed. I don't think you'd have to have an enclosed trailer, but I would suggest, maybe a pickup, even if you've got plants in them, even a tarp, because the wind is going to be pretty harsh on them. But that's it. I don't have any video of putting them together, but I do have some images. So I'm going to add those to the end of this to explain it a little bit more. That's basically it. They worked great. I've decided they're not going to stay here forever. I'm going to move them back behind me. But once, probably the heat of the summer, when all the cool stuff, the spinach and the kale and all that, when it's starting to really die back from our Texas summer, I'll probably move the beds back behind me. But that's it. Super, super, super simple. And the posts that I use on these were 2x4 rough cedar. So all in all, it was like $1.20 for the boards. So, it was, what, $5 for the boards. The hardware cloth is 1/2 inch hardware cloth. And I used 2-foot hardware cloth, which gave it a little bit of a lip because I cut off the dog ear. I also used fender washers with screws on this one to make sure that it held the hardware cloth in. That was it. So very inexpensive. I think the cedar post was like $3 for 8-foot, which, that's not very much of a length at all. So it did both of these. I have tons of, I went ahead and cut them more because I was going to cut the rest of the wood, so I was going to make more, but I ended up not, because we knew we were going to move very soon. But yeah, my garden came with me. I'll add the pictures. Thanks, guys.